Hello once again everyone. So this was a request from some of my students who do rapier. It can be hard to find solo exercises to do with the rapier since you're not generally doing a ton of cuts that aren't just footwork or lunges. So I'm going to go over a couple little basic things that are worth practicing in their own right and can be done very easily with just your hand, or if you happen to have a sword, with no training partner or object to stab. So firstly, obviously, of course, you can practice your movement in your various different postures, but more importantly than that, you can practice leading with the tip. So what I mean by this is what you really want is for this to be nice and relaxed. Whenever I extend my arm, it shouldn't be this hard jabbing motion or anything along those lines. I just want, ah. So you just practice that, just lifting the arm up a couple times. Then we're going to combine this with movement. So I'm out of distance, arm, foot. Come back, relax. Arm, foot. Come back, relax. Arm, foot, come back, relax. Now we start doing that into different positions. Arm, porta, foot, back, relax. Arm, porta, foot, back, relax. Arm, secunda, foot, back, relax. Arm, secunda, foot, back, relax. It may not seem like much, but this is how you're going to be able to probe against people, how you're going to enter into distance safely, as well as how you're going to start doing blade engagements. Now you're getting used to leading with your tip. Now along this as well, we can tack a lunge on the end of that, so that would be approach, extend, lunge, recover, retreat, relax. Relatively straightforward. It's worth doing though. Even once you've been doing this for a long, long time, the more you can practice this motion, the better, because this extension could lead to a bunch of other things I'll do in a moment. So again, approach, find, lunge, return, retreat, relax. If you really want to be super sporty about it, add a second retreat onto the end of that recovery. Now, let's say instead, our imaginary opponent, rather than being nice and a lovely target for us, decides that they're going to either parry or come back against us. So we'll start off nice and simple with the idea of parry. Now, without another blade in place, it can be hard to, cavazione or other sorts of things along those lines. So let's go ahead and move to a different opening in a grander way. So, if I'm approaching, my arm comes out, I turn to porta, and they are panic parrying, cavazione. Let's go ahead and move with a pass. Now the reason that we're doing this instead of just a lunge on the other side is because we've already done a lunge on the other side, and as well, being able to pass explosively as you do a cavazione di tempo can be an incredibly beneficial thing to practice. The only way to get better at it is to get used to it. So, again, that is approach, step, they're dealing with it, wound, and just go ahead and flow from there. And you can just basically run rings around yourself. So I will do so now. Get, recover, turn. Get, recover, turn. Nice and straightforward. And you can do that relatively simply. The only thing I would recommend you do is make sure you are extending when you do your passing step. Nice extended secunda. Maybe you want to do it in a different way. Maybe you want to move to a low opening. So that would be approach, opzione, down. Make sure to lower yourself when you do this one. And you can again go out to the side, or you can go more straightforward. So, approach, down. Nice and low. Now as well, you can go the other direction. So maybe I approach in secunda, yeah, dealing with it. Nice extended lunge from that secunda, and practice opening up that body. And I really can't stress this enough. That body position matters a lot more, because it may not seem like much when you're drilling because you're focusing on this sort of thing, but once you can start getting that body profiling, a lot more options become available. So, extend secunda, I'm being attacked with, opzione, boom, nice and open, back, and then of course you retreat. But, another sort of option there. You could also, if you want to, add a jib out there, something along those lines, but we'll get to that another time. Let's say instead we want to do a parry riposte. So, our opponent, rather than just pre-parrying and giving us new openings, they decide instead to come back at us. So, we're going to approach, extend. We've got our sword out, but we haven't dictated a side yet. Here they come. Okay? Let's say they're coming on the inside line. We're going to form porta retreats, extend, riposte. And no need for a retreat because we already did it. Here's that again. Approach, extend, parry, riposte. One more time. Approach, extend, parry, riposte. I was a little late on my retreat there. Now same idea in segunda. Approach, extend, parry, riposte. Approach, extend, parry, riposte. And what you can work on with this especially, not only is forming your parry as you retreat, and since you don't have something actually coming at you, you have a lot more time to pay attention to your blade angles, but making sure there's that rhythm of tip, body, tip, body, tip, body. The more you can do that, the more your sword is going to be landing on target a lot sooner than your antagonist is anticipating. Likewise, if you do something a little more interesting, we approach, our arm extends, and they decide to do something really crazy, which is go for our leg, so we'll slip it. So, approach, extend, slip. Back on the guard. One more time. Approach, extend, slip. Back on the guard. And generally, you should be recovering backwards. I did forwards because I'm used to framing off the camera. Now, if you really want to get super nitty-gritty with it, though, honestly, practicing just those couple motions really does do a body good, because what you're practicing is hitting someone who's not resisting, going around someone who's resisting in a passive way, and then dealing with incoming strikes. The only thing you haven't done is a counter thrust, but practicing those against the air is not quite as energetic as doing a parry riposte. The other thing you can get super nitty-gritty about is your lunge in pieces. So for this, I'm going to set the sword down, though I'll pick it up again in a moment. So, start off in a nice medium stance. We're going to extend, jab, lunge, recover, relax. Is that again? Extend, jab, lunge, recover, relax. Once you've done that from the medium a little bit, let's add into something more dramatic. Rearward stance. So, extend, jab, lunge, recover, relax. Extend, jab, lunge, recover, relax. And especially for the rearward stance, I like to try and push myself a bit more, so I'm going to add a bit more force into my lunge. So, extend, jab, lunge. Extend, jab, lunge. Now, a forward stance, Father C style. And if you don't know this, don't worry about it, but it is an option to do. I forward to my forward, extend, jab, lunge, recover. Extend, jab, lunge, recover. Extend, jab, lunge, recover. Nice and straightforward. Doing the same with the sword, just adds a little bit more weight up there. So, one from each. Standing in my nice medium stance. Extend, jab, lunge, recover. Now for my rearward stance. Extend, jab, lunge, recover. Now for my forward stance. Extend, jab, lunge, recover. Nice and fun, nice and relaxing. You shouldn't overdo it, but it can add that little bit of emphasis into your lunge that later down the line, when you eventually read Fabre's, or when you just start talking about how to provoke with true feints or increase your lunge time, that little jab can be very useful, as well as it's showing good body control, being able to do this from your stance. Either way though, there's just some simple solo exercises for you've got no training partner and you have no wall that you're willing to sacrifice to being a Pell, so there's some nice stuff for you. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll go over some other techniques another time.